and eventually got completely captured by the sounds of it about 6 years ago by the works of the Master Mantak Chia that many of you would know about, the Taoist, sexual Taoist, and much more than that practitioner. The microscopic, not the
microscopic orbit. Let's say your orbit.
I can't see it.
Yes, my orbit is microscopic, that's for sure. But you went over to Chiang Mai, where he lives, to visit Master Chin. I wasn't aware that he was still alive, so that's excellent. I guess hopefully he would be still alive doing this.
Well, he has got a few dates. He's touring, so hopefully he is.
He's not touring. But you practice there, training in the Universal Healing Tao. You're here to talk about the visit soon of a globally travelling teacher of that practice of Universal Healing Tao. His name is Jutta Kellenberger. He'll be here in July, early July, for 2 workshops at Ewingsdale Hall, as I mentioned earlier, the 1st and 2nd of July and the 3rd of July. Welcome to the studio. Adam, how are you doing?
Thank you, very well, thank you.
Nice to have you in here. So,
Yeah, I have quite a few questions for you. No, I'm very interested to meet another fellow Qigong and Taoist practitioner, so that's great.
Likewise, thanks.
Yeah, so one of the things, there's 2 burning questions in my mind. One is, what do you think of Mantak Chia? And the second one is, what's your take on Taoism? How would you describe it? So choose either of those.
I'll talk about Master Chia first.
Yeah.
So, well, he's my master, so I believe everyone has some sort of a master, or multiple masters in their life, where you can learn and a teacher, and that's perfectly normal, especially in China and the East, where that was that's the culture, that's the lifestyle of how people evolved. So I first read a book of Master Chia, and loving the way he structured the book and being able to do the practices in the book, self-teaching myself and having the guidance of the actual text of Master Chia, really good. Once I finished, I wanted more. I wanted to learn more. I wanted to get more of his books. So I ended up buying all his books, his DVDs, so I can physically see him in the classroom, and any things I was unsure of, I could physically see him doing the practice. So that helped a lot in my practices. And yeah, he's just a humble 70-year-old odd. He's a teacher, and he's very. He brought Taoism basically to the West in the 1980s, and from then he's just developed this whole Universal Healing Tao system of self-development and teaching people to heal themselves.
He certainly has made a bit of an empire of it, that's for sure. He covers a lot of ground. And it is interesting you say humble, because that's my experience of Taoist teachers. I studied at Wudang with a Kung Fu, Tai Chi, Qigong guy. And one day the lesson was how to make a sports bra out of men's underpants. So they're not...
How did it turn out?
It worked, actually. You can do that.
You still wear that, I see. Now you're also here because you now teach, and you're actually doing a free event this week on Wednesday, I do believe. So Wednesday, I think it's Wednesday, isn't it?
Yes.
11:30.
Yes.
Just mentioned that at Temple Byron, so we'll get back to the details about that. So folks, you don't have to wait till July. You can actually go and tune in with Adam on Wednesday morning and receive some of this teaching. These practices obviously have a spiritual quality to them, but there's also health benefits and vitality benefits and sexual benefits. Can you speak to some of those deeper meanings, and also particularly, because I'm more of a novice to all this than Michelle is for sure, is how does it work? How do these practices actually work?
Yeah, definitely. That's the big question.
Yeah.
So Qigong really is the basis of it. So that's translated. That's really breath.
Yes.
Breathing. So when we breathe, we take in oxygen, nitrogen, and we have to bring the qi. They call the breath is qi. So the life force is in the qi. So we breathe, and that's probably 90% of our nutrients. Our strength comes from our breath. only 10% and whatever comes from food. So that's why the Chinese and other systems knew so much about how important the breath was. So when we breathe properly, when we can harness the chi from the forces, so we have the elemental forces, the 5 elements, we have the forces, we have the earth force, we have the universal force around us, and we also have the cosmic force, the universe above us. So when we connect to the forces, we can draw this chi into our bodies, condense it and strengthen ourselves, use it to heal our organs, and it's an ancient practice that's been around for thousands of years, that was only taught and passed down to certain students that the masters would decide to teach. It was a very hard thing to learn at the time, because it was in secret.
Now, it still is in lots of ways.
Very much so.
I noticed that in China, like, they don't teach it. You've got to practice for years and years and years and years and years to show your dedication, and then they won't tell you anything even. You've got to discover it through the practice. You've got to
sweep the master's house out for years, keep sweeping and stuff like that, just to gain his respect and stuff. And then you've got the other kind of fields of it. So the sexual practices the sexual energy we accumulate when we're having sex. So there's single cultivation and there's dual cultivation. So the single cultivation is the exercises that we can practice by ourselves, activating the sexual energy. So the sexual palace, the area down there, can accumulate a lot of energy. So when we learn to strengthen that area, then we can bring the chi energy up the spinal cord, come up to our organs, and bring it right up to our brain. We can bring the sexual energy, which is the raw energy.
Raw creative energy.
Raw creative energy. Yeah. So it's very powerful, and if we don't abuse it and we respect it and we have a good intention, we can bring it up, we can nourish our brain, our glands with it, and then we can bring it down our microcosmic orbit to our organs, nourish our organs, and then back down to the center. So that's the single cultivation. Then you've got the dual cultivation, where you can practice with your partner, love making and sexual practices where you can share the chi and exchange the chi energy, and that's when you hit the valley orgasms and the big time. So, jackpot.
So without going into too much detail on morning radio, what has transformed for you in these particular ways in these years of practice? What's the perceptible and clear, observable change that you've experienced for yourself?
Yeah, right. Energy, vitality, having that energy to jump out of bed in the morning, not feel sluggish or tired. Tasting foods better. Your eyes are clear. Your senses are more open. Your aura is strong.
I must say you are radiating. Quite true.
You have to work on it. It takes practice every day, a little bit, and you strengthen your aura. No airborne bacteria, no bad fortune, no negativity from other people or other sources can enter you, because it hits your force field and bounces off. It's all chi. It's all energy. Everything's energy.
Yeah. Now the teacher who's coming in July that you're bringing to the attention of the public first up today, Jutta Kallenberger, obviously is someone quite special by the look of it. German, I guess, originally. And she focuses, I see, largely on this weekend that's coming up in July on feminine healing. Does she also is this a workshop for men as well, or is that just the cosmic healing one on the Sunday?
The cosmic healing is for
men and
both, yeah. But Juta's doing the female healing love and the female workshop there. Yeah. Which focuses on the health. Exercises to benefit women, and also strengthening your soul and spirit as well. So it's very important for for the women.
Yeah. And for those who are interested in looking and registering for these workshops in July, you've got plenty of time to check it out. You can contact Perry Young, that's PERRIYOUNG at gmail.com, perryyoung@gmail.com, and that'll be in the feed. But if you are interested in tuning in with Adam, who's speaking very well about his own experience in the practices here, Adam is having this free event at the Temple Byron on Wednesday morning coming, the 20th of April, 8:30 a.m. till 11:30 a.m., which would be great. Come and meditate with Adam.
Will you be teaching any Qigong at that?
Yeah, we'll be going over the Taoist basics. So the inner smile, 6 healing sounds, microcosmic orbit, and learning to breathe properly, correctly.
Yeah.
So very important to start somewhere.
I love the healing sounds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you do one right now?
No.
No, that's not it. No, sorry. Adam, we'll have to leave it there. Thanks very much for joining us. Nice to have you in the studio.
Thank